Elég kell, maar rövid tenni. De hadden ook wel van
Hello everyone, I'm Yan, your favorite friendly Frenchman, and welcome back one final time before we, put the project on a hiatus until we get a PC. Well, I say we get a PC. I get a PC. Welcome back to Belleflore. So nice to be back. To be fair, I haven't really touched Belleflore for about 2 weeks, so it's really, really nice to be back to really, experience the park again, experience it with with fresh eyes and everything. Let me say hi to everyone in the chat. Hey J&J Creations. Hey Dragonborn. Nice to see you, man. Hey Captain SBK. Hey Emil. I want to say Emil because it's how we say it in French. So hey Emil. Hey Kiefer. Long time no see. Not really. I posted last week, I believe. In stream, yes, of course. Yeah, streams are weekly streams, especially, were a little hard on the fact that they really stopped my momentum because I was really working on projects like very actively back when I was streaming a lot, and doing two projects at once kind of messed with my brain, and I really like to focus on a single task at hand. So that's what I'm doing right now, and that's why the videos work a little bit better. Well, you know, they're out more frequently, and so that's why there hasn't been many streams. But I can say that, of course, this evening we're streaming together, and also next week there's going to be a little special stream of something that I've never that I've never played before. That's not true. I've played it before. But a stream on something that you haven't seen on the channel. So that's going to be really, really exciting. But for now, let's talk about Belleflore. Hey Broccoli, hey Shane, hey This Blows, and thank you Shane for the one gifted membership that goes to Roller Coaster Addict. That's cool. Hey Wonky, nice to see you as well. Right, so we're here in front of Belleflore. And I usually, when I tour my own park, I like to start from all the way over there. In fact, if you load the park on the workshop, this is kind of where you're going to start, and that's because it's implied that you should put yourself in first person, like I am right now. So that's already done. And yes, the idea is to make you feel like you're walking up to the park, essentially. So the one thing I didn't realize is that guests could take their rubbish with them, and since we don't have janitors going outside the park, that's the kind of problem we can encounter. But yeah, we have the parking lot here with the 4 buses that are our spawn points. Minecraft, not Minecraft, no, sorry. I don't want to disappoint you, but no, that's not going to be Minecraft next week. I would love to do some Minecraft content, but once I am on PC, it'll be easier to do because, you know, I cannot do the cinematics like I am doing in Planet Coaster because the camera is that different. But I would love to start doing some Minecraft content in the future. I'm not gonna lie. I've been dreaming of doing some Minecraft content in the past. So yeah, that's definitely something that I would love to do. Obviously, oops, sorry, I spat in the mic here. Obviously, as you guys know, if you've seen the series, this whole park is in French. Some things that are very crucial for you guys to understand if you're not French. This will definitely be in English as well on the side. For example, the instructions for the mini golf. What else? That little diorama of northern France that I have in the train station. We'll see that. We'll get there anyway. But yeah, we have this one is Echo Bus, so that would be a bus that runs on electricity. Then we have the classic European Flixbus. A lot of us know that. Then you have, I don't remember, I think this one is Autocar des Géants, which is a reference to the region I live in. Basically, what we'll do around July, I want to say, is have big wooden structures that are dressed up, big wooden figures essentially, and they'll parade through town. It's really, really cool. Culturally, I find it weird, but in a good way. You know, it's those kind of weird things that you can only see in Europe, and yeah, I definitely like that about my region. So that's why it's called Autocar des Géants, coaches of the giants, I suppose, in English. And then you have the official Belleflore shuttle that would probably be driving to the nearest city or the nearest train station, more like. So a lot of people are coming to the park now. Broccoli, thank you so much for the €5. Yes, you guys had a bet with Mr. Wonky Builder, indeed. Let me heart that. I can't. There we go. Explorer mode is a must, and I always turn off leader to stop this nonsense. Yeah, the thing is, they won't use the bins if you do that. So just so that people at restaurants don't just leave and go on their merry way, and just take their trash to the trash cans. I thought I would turn it on, but yeah, I suppose it's better to turn it off. But hey, if it's only this place that's got rubbish on it, it's totally fine, right? It's totally fine. Anyway, yes, so now we go through security. Because really, we have the parking lot, we have the coaches. Nobody cares, honestly, about all of those. On PC, you can use FreeCam, with which you can do camera things like that. Exactly, that's why I want to play, do Minecraft content on PC and not on PS5. Even though I could do it, I do play Minecraft a little bit from time to time. But yeah, I'd rather wait on for the PC. Hey, EK Frills, a trick plays game. Sorry. Welcome, guys. Welcome. You could go to the Belleflore Hotel. Yeah, about that, I was thinking, and honestly, this is just a thought so far. Nothing, no concrete plans. But hey, Hendrik, welcome to the chat, man. What I was thinking is, what if at some point we do a spin-off of Belleflore with a sort of, not really a resort, but I kind of imagine like a camp, a vacation camp, like where you can camp and have a chalet and everything. That'd be really nice, I think. And they would have like a small water park that they use in the summer probably there. So yeah, that would be a nice idea. This is just something that I thought about recently. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do something about it, or maybe I'm gonna keep it for the PC version of the park as well, so that I can actually have it around the actual map. That would be even better. Maybe even an indoor water park. I'm already technically doing an indoor water park. By the way, this is as good a time as any to tell you guys that the indoor water park that I'm doing, Steamtown, it's been put on hold until I get a PC, because that's another really ambitious project, and I fear that I won't be able to finish it, as always on console. When you're over ambitious, you get your hands slapped by the complexity meter, but it is what it is. Did I miss someone? Yes, Rippy. Hey, Rippy. Welcome. Nice to see you all. It's really nice to be streaming again. So here you have the old prices. Sorry, to get to the manor. So the manor was free, gratuit. But to get to the park, you had to pay 119. So that's franc. Franc is the old currency that we used to, that my country used to use back. Well, before I was born. Now that I think about it, back before euro was a thing, in Europe. So yeah. If you wanted to go to the park, you had to pay 119 francs, and if you want to park your car, it was 29 francs. I can't exactly remember who suggested that I use francs, but it was a great suggestion because this park was created, well, not the manor grounds and everything, but obviously the park around the manor grounds was started in the 90s, so that made total sense that the old prices would be in francs instead of euros. And then if you go to the actual prices with the ticket booths that we have here you have all the prices that are still being practiced today. So 34 euros, sorry, for seniors and children, sorry. 48 euros for adults, and for babies it's free. Parking is now free as well, and if you want a season pass, it is 144 euros, which I think is a pretty good deal. Well, maybe not right now, to be fair. Honestly, as we on PC continue the park, I might bump up the prices for inflation, you know, just because the offer of the park will be so grand. It would be almost akin to something like Walibi Belgium, in even though no crappy rides like Vampire or Boomerang or Werewolf, but you know, something that is a little more worth your while. I feel like we should, yeah, bump up those prices. Anyway, I saw a few people as well. Hey miss, nice to see you. Theme Park Gamer, hey, when did you get your PC? I'm loving Belleflore, it's so amazing. Well, first of all, thank you. And second of all, I don't know, because it's really dependent, depending on how much money I get at the end of each month with YouTube, because this is my only source of revenue right now. It's been my only source of revenue. As I've said in the last episode of Belleflore, episode 5. And so, if you guys want to see it sooner, definitely think about, you know, donating money. What else? Becoming channel supporters is a really good way of supporting me. It's only €3 to become a channel supporter, and it's gonna be a really nice way to support me monthly, even though it's kind of drip feeding me. It's still really, really useful, and I've introduced the VIP supporters as well. We have a few of those in the chat. We have Blue Jai, who just joined. Hello, Blue Jai. Nice to see you. We also have Hendrik, and we also have Broccoli, who are now VIP supporters, and that's just to take a step up, you know, to above the channel supporters. So you get everything the channel supporters get, plus a VIP chat on the Discord, and exclusive shorts, which members, well, VIPs, have gotten earlier today, actually. They've gotten the first one, because my next project is already kind of ready, so expect a video next week, actually, on that. Anyway, hey, do you know the story behind the €5 from Broccoli? Roughly, yes. I roughly remember it. I think it was earlier this week or this weekend, but yeah. Hey Dudu, nice to see you. Hey Nick, nice to see you as well. Yeah, long time no see indeed. In stream at least. In stream form. And then yes, we have, well, speaking of channel supporters, actually, they're all there. So everyone who was a member by the time episode 5 was made, not released, made, are now immortalized in the park, in the console version of the park at the very least. So yes, thank you all, I think 38, 39-ish of you. It's really good, and to have your support, because it's honestly become my my biggest source of revenue from YouTube, and obviously it's kind of a little family, just being able to recognize how everyone is a member and how everyone um, knows one another. It's really really nice. Like that's the best kind of unofficial family that I could have asked by doing this job. But yeah, thank you all so much. And .NET, welcome back to the channel supporters. Speaking of which. Did I miss anyone? I don't think so. Okay, let's crack on. Even though we've got the entire evening to tour this park. So then we have this little accueil building. It's kind of the guest services essentially. So you have the concierge, the handicapped pass, the season pass. You'll go in there if you want to get a season pass and you don't and you haven't done so before on the website. The infirmary and the guest services SAV. And on the other end of this area, we have the toilets. At first, in the first episode, there wasn't any toilets, and I was like, that's a little bit weird to not put a toilet where there is a toilet. So originally, I didn't put an actual toilet. Well, see, those people need the toilet, so that's why I wanted to put an actual toilet. And at first I didn't put one because it was going to stick out. It's 4 meters, and I think this building is about 2 meters 75, something like that. Which is absolutely realistic. That's not a problem at all. But I dug a bit of space just to put the toilet in there. And then we have this beautiful, beautiful entrance. Probably my favorite entrance I've ever done. It's just mwah, chef's kiss, isn't it? Like just taking inspiration from everything I see in my region. So Nord-Pas-De-Calais, the north of France. It was a real love letter to my region, and I love this. Especially this is really inspired by a museum that's somewhere in my hometown. I won't say where, otherwise I'm going to dox myself, but yeah, this is definitely inspired by that. And then the archways are really inspired by the presidential palace, the Palais de l'Élysée in Paris, sorry. So yeah, that's kind of the hybrid between the two. I wanted something to be really regal in a sense, if that makes any sense, but also really not really style of a substance, because if you know the story behind this main gate was always a gate, but those and those were stables before the park was a park. And then once they didn't use horses, and once the park got a little more famous, essentially those back walls were knocked out, and now we have turnstiles everywhere over there. And then of course you're greeted with those beautiful, beautiful French gardens. Oh, actually, before I go on and talk about that, look at the little Roman numerals here. They spell 1608. 1608, which are the numbers that my online name has at the end. It's CNBK 1608, but it's also when the actual manor was built. And then here you have in the center, because it's the biggest one, you have the handicapped access, and then you have the little what do you call that again? Opening time. Sorry, it's been a while since I've done one of a stream, so I'm a little bit choppy, I realize, with the way I speak. I apologize if that's annoying. But yeah, you have from Monday to Friday, so that's from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then on Saturday and Sunday, on the weekend basically, they are open from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., which is pretty cool for a European park, I must say. And then, yes, as I was saying, there we go. The French gardens. I've always wanted to do French gardens. In fact, if you look at my first park, Parc Ciel Bleu, back on Planet Coaster Console Edition, oh my god, I've missed a dono? Oh no, member for 4 months. Woo, 4 months, can't wait for the PC. Neither can I. That's for sure. And the entrance is so beautiful. Thank you, Commander. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can we have a color for normal supporters on Discord, please? Not really, because I already do things by hand with the VIP supporters, and the idea is to really promote the VIP supporters. You know, they get the VIP Discord chat, so they get the role, giving a role to supporters would be a little bit only cosmetic. I suppose, you know what, how can I do that? I don't think I can do it on my phone. If one of the mods is here, can you please do a poll in announcements? Don't adhere, don't at everyone, but do a poll whether channel supporters should have a color next, well, not next to the name, but like with a colored role, essentially. We'll see if you can. Thank you, miss. Thank you so much. I know it's somewhere in France. Yes, it is. It's definitely somewhere in France. You know that much. The house looks really nice. Yes, yes. This manor is one of my best builds I've ever done. And honestly, this was back when I thought I was going to be able to build so much more on console. But starting this park, the entrance area was definitely done as if I was going to be building this entirely on PC, which obviously I'm not. But this is kind of the caliber of builds that you can expect on PC, definitely. Like, this much detail. Probably more interiors, because I've decided I was not going to do the interiors, as you can see, closed for annual refurbishment. This is just an excuse not to do the interior, because the interior is kind of messy. Don't think I can actually go inside here. Maybe if I go down the staff entrance, I can... Nope. I think I've made it so you can't actually peek inside. But yeah, it's kind of a mess with all the pillars I used. For those little patterns that you have here. But yeah, I mean, come on, look at it. It looks so realistic. Like, this is what it's meant to be, isn't it? It's meant to be a realistic regional park in France. And yeah, the manor, I was about to say the manoir, the manor is so beautiful. Like, truly the best centerpiece I've ever had for one of my theme parks. And something that I really like about this is the fact that you can see it from all the way around the lake, which we'll get to in a second. I just want to talk about the French gardens a little bit, because those are really typical of French castles. So technically this would be a castle, actually, now that I think about it. But yeah, those are the things that you will see in Versailles, and honestly, I don't know my French castles, I'm sorry. I'm a disgrace to my people. But yeah, a lot of French castles have those styles of gardens with, you know, very low hedges and flower patterns here and there, grass. I've always thought this was really beautiful, and yeah, it's so special. Like I absolutely love it. Then you have this little fountain. A little bit of a shame that the water shapes look like that, but it is what it is. And then you have the pipe going to a little manhole here. When I was a teen, I had a class in a castle, a glorified small manor. Yeah. To be fair, I believe if you guys know, especially you, Miss, who are Belgian, you might know Paradisa. And in Paradisa, there's a manor that kind of resembles that, and they call it a castle. I don't exactly remember the name of the castle, but I know it's definitely classified as a castle officially. So, yeah, this would definitely be a castle, but to be fair, it's kind of a manor, more like. Hey Keegan! Oh my goodness, I've missed so many people. Hey Brice, nice to see you as well. Member for 8 months. Wow, that's a really, really long time. Alright, so let's see. I always look at the Roman numerals. If I forget the number 1608, very handy. Pull launched, thank you so much. Yeah, the aquarium. It is the aquarium now, and it's great. It's kind of steampunk vibe in there. I've only been once to do research back when Planet Coaster Zoo, Planet Zoo was announced for console. We all know where that went, obviously. But if you look at my very first Planet Zoo video, you have my footage from the zoo, Paradisa, and it's really great. You have like really, really great footage, and the intro is really well made as well. And I got to feed a giraffe. Like, if you want to see that, you definitely have to check out that video. But after the stream for sure. When it comes to getting a PC, would you do the more conforming mods to console, like No Limits, or switch tracks on other coaster types? I don't think I will work with mods, honestly. I'm a big why can't I say that word? Vanilla, there we go. Vanilla player, so I don't think I will play with a lot of mods, honestly. Like, that's not something that's really interesting to me. I feel like there's already so much that I can do in vanilla. Now I can say it. So yeah, maybe once I've done pretty much everything I want to do on the game, maybe I'll try some of those. But for the foreseeable future, like for the foreseeable 2, 3, even maybe 4 years, I don't think I'll be using mods, no. Sorry if I disappoint, by the way. And then you have staff entrances. Well, the old staff entrances from back then. So you can imagine that they have some kitchens or something like that that they can use inside. I was originally wanting to make this place here a restaurant, because I was building this back when the restaurants were first announced, I believe. No, not the manor, the entrance. And so I thought that this little, well, not little, a huge plaza actually, was going to be a restaurant, like an outdoor seating restaurant. I didn't do that, obviously, and I feel like doing a museum. Like, in my mind, this will this has been a museum in the park, you know, about maybe Belleflore or the region, or maybe they just have different exhibits throughout the year. So yeah, but definitely a museum, something that you would get included with your park admission. It's an incredible zoo. Should go to the park at some point again. Yes, for sure. Planet Coaster Zoo will be a banger, though. Honestly, back when Planet Coaster 2 was first announced, I was like, oh my goodness, there's gonna be zoo elements in there. Nope, nope, absolutely not. We got water parks, which is not too bad, but yeah. I can't imagine the effort you put in your build. Keep it going, love your content. Thank you so much, White Giraffe. It's nice to see you again in the chat as well. Well, when you think that now there is theme park zoo, I mean, yeah, definitely. In RCT3 there was already that possibility, but I cannot even begin to imagine how that would work in a hybrid game, if that makes any sense. Maybe they'll do it someday, but in a few years, I believe. Hey, and I am making a Heartline tool mod, which shows you the heartline of the coasters. Ah, you can just eyeball it. No, that is useful. That is definitely useful. Not saying that I will use it. I'm just saying that it is useful. I'm not hating on mods, by the way. I just don't feel like using them. I feel like there is such an art to using the base game. And that's why I like using the base game, the vanilla things. Not really vanilla, because I'm technically using DLCs, and vanilla is like no DLC, no extension whatsoever. Is the Belleflore Manor still a possibility for PC? I don't think I will be interested in doing that. It's still a possibility because, you know, my mind will probably change and it's probably going to be months, if not years, until we get on PC. But yes, this is a possibility, but it's like 33% no, 66% no, 33% yes at the moment. I don't think I will do the interior because it's well, you know what? Let me. There we go. I was like, oh, why can't I leave the first person? That's just because of the day report. But yeah, I mean, if you remove those, like those black screens, I guess that would be a possibility, right? I guess it's still on the table. I'm not gonna lie, at this point, I don't think I can be arsed. That is a really weird thing to say, like saying a British thing with an American accent. Well, I like to think my accent is American. It's not really. It's more like a bastardized American European accent. So yes, it is still on the table. We'll see when I get to it. I don't want to commit to making things. The few things that I want to commit to is what I discussed in the latest episode about everything that's going to be around the lake. Like I'm pretty sure that everything I've discussed in that episode will most definitely be in the park in the future for sure. Will Belleflore have a water park? Very, very fun, funny thing that you would ask, because I just discussed it, and I'm definitely thinking about making a water park spin-off or making an actual water park in the PC file. We'll see. I'm definitely interested in making a water park. I will definitely make a water park in the Marvelous Realms resort that I've been planning for over a year now. That is going to be my major PC project after Belleflore, I believe, or maybe after another thing. We'll see. We're not there yet. It's probably gonna be in like 2 years' time. So let's just not make plans that far in advance. Let's worry about tomorrow. Have you seen those videos that make the parks where they make bad parks? Yeah, I'm not really interested in those. I think it's much more interesting to try and make things that you yourself like, and yeah, personally making you know what I mean, bad parks for the sake of making them. Yeah, I'm not really into that. Although I will probably be working on an abandoned park at some point in the near future. So we'll see about that. You're on the T now. This looks beautiful. Thank you, Dragonborn. Are you building a PC or buying one? At the moment, neither, but I will be buying the parts and then having someone that I know and trust build it for me, because I don't trust myself to build it, honestly. And let me catch up with everything. Could make that a big swing like Wallaby Holland has that hangs over the water. Do you mean a sky coaster? No. Hell no. Those are ugly as hell. No, definitely not. No. Do you think midway through 2026 is a potentially realistic time for PC? Your guess is as good as mine, honestly. I will try my darnest to actually make it as soon as possible, but yeah, midway through 2026 would be realistic. I don't know. I'm just honestly, what I'm doing at the moment is thinking about the growth of the channel, because if you don't have the growth, you don't have the revenue, and honestly, both are related. So I've been working behind the scenes with Broccoli to do some stats analysis, thumbnail analysis, and whatever analysis you can think of, and we're basically maximizing my chances to grow the channel as much as we can, because Broccoli obviously is a very, very generous person, often donating, and obviously he's a VIP supporter now, but he's also helping by giving his time and intellect as well to help me succeed as much as I can. So yeah, anyway, enough talk about all of that. Let's go back to the actual park, because I see the viewers have dropped significantly. Anyway, this is my grandmother, Hélène. So obviously her name wasn't Belleflore, but for the sake of the park, she was the owner of the manor's wife, not house. My grandmother is not a house, I promise. But yeah, it's why she is here, and that sort of implies as well that my grandpa was the one who built this estate back in 1608. You are growing fairly rapidly. Yes, but I feel like I could do better as well. Like, my unrealistic goals for the end of 2025 would be reaching 10k. We'll see if that's I'm so sorry. See, this is what I struggle with when I record my videos. Like, I stumble over my own words, and yeah, we'll see if I can do that before 2026. But you know, do not burn yourself out. Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry. It is my job, to be fair. So, and my job is playing video games. Like, come on. If you know how to have fun in life, like, you cannot be burned out. And to be fair, I have more seriously as well. I have processes so that I don't get burned out. So I know when I'm about to get burnt out, and if I need to take a break, I know how and when to do it, so don't worry about that. Even though you're very kind to worry about my mental health. Will you accept PC parts for the build? No, I will buy everything myself. I don't want secondhand. Finally have the motivation to finish a park on PS5. Go for it, bro! Go for it! Maybe not MK, but AF. I don't know what AF means. At least 9K. We'll see, honestly, we'll see. I'll do my best. We'll see where we are at on the new year. In the new year, sorry. So yeah, this is my grandma. Yen playing on a NASA PC. Yeah, I would love to have a massive PC like that. Anyway, let's get down. Actually, no, let's... And I forgot about those. I've been rambling on and waffling about everything that is not the park. But yeah, we have those as well, which you can actually climb in. Look at that. This is cool. This is a cool little detail that most people don't know exists, but you can actually climb into the elevators, the handicapped access elevators. Really, really cool. And this one, obviously, you cannot because it's not here. But if you go downstairs, and can you imagine just going here and having the whole park being built? Like, that will be a beautiful sight to behold in I don't know, a year, 2 years time. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, if you go here, you can actually go inside this one. There we go. And you have those little drains as well, so that rain doesn't go inside the elevator. There you have some toilets. There you have the chair swing, the chaise volante. And there you have the entrance of what will be Wildwater, which will be our American area. Honestly, I didn't really know I wanted to have a chair swing until the end of this area, because I felt like, you know, going here, obviously you have the whole view of the park, but can you say Wildwater in a cowboy accent? Wildwater. No, I can't do it. I have to train my mouth to say it. Wildwater. I was about to say a really bad word here. Wildest wild. What? It's even harder to try to do the spiel of Big Thunder Mountain. The wildest ride in the wilderness. The wild water. Yeah, there we go. You see, I have to... This is the same with anyone who does voice actings or whatever. They have to find a phrase to get into the voice, and to get into the yeehaw voice, as you say, Dragonborn. You have to wildest ride in the wilderness. Wild water. Wild water, something like that. It's not going to be a cowboy area. It's probably, well, at first in the history of the park, it is that, but the area got rethemed, much like Vapeur-sur-Rail, which we're about to see in a second. But this will more be around themed around the 60s, so you'll have a more recent America, essentially. And yeah, I just wanted this place to to add a bit of kinetic energy, even though, you know, the rest of this is pretty empty. Like, this is kind of crazy if you imagine that only this has been built so far, and we well, we still have all of this to build. Which is really exciting, honestly. If I could do it, I would do it, because I love this park to bits. That's a mistake, I didn't know that was here. I don't know what to do about it. That's a bit weird. Why is it here, actually? I don't know. I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. Then you have La Fourgonnette. La Fourgonnette is what we call a baraque à frites for every French people that's listening, which is probably not a lot. This is kind of a typical Northern France slash Belgian, even technically, I suppose the Netherlands have those as well, but more proper, I would say. Exactly, friture, indeed. Yeah, this is something that I've literally been growing on this kind of junk food. Like, every single weekend we would go to our local one, and this is so tainted with nostalgia to me that I wanted to have one in Belleflore. And this is basically the story goes that it was a baraque à frites that was in the nearby village, and then the owners of Belleflore asked them to if they wanted to have another one in the park, and so there we go. And so here is the menu. The menu is obviously totally custom. The prices are kind of realistic as well. Really, really cool. Love all this. Even the sauces are... the condiments, sorry, not the sauces. But the condiments are definitely here and realistic. Summertime parks are the main focus of Planet Coaster 2. Yeah, kind of. Kind of. Even though I like to think that we're in a somewhat late September setting for Belleflore. My goodness. I'm digesting my food now. Hey Anne, if you ever had a chance, would you drop everything to open a real theme park? If I had the money, if I had the funds, like if I were a winner of Euro Million or something, hell yeah, absolutely. Maybe not drop everything, I would still do this. But, you know what would be super fun as a series? If I had the funds, again, which I don't. But it would be making a park in Planet Coaster, then making it in real life. Like, that would be absolutely crazy, and I would live for that. Absolutely, yes. So yes, absolutely. The comparison of Contessa Park and Belleflore, just a scale difference. I would also say that Belleflore is more realistic. It's more paying attention to, you know, for example, accessibility, or what else do I have? Well, behind La Fourgonnette, I have the realistic things, like you have a manhole here, you have the cables for the lights, you have some trash here, and even more realistic stuff that we'll see in a second. So yeah, I feel like Belleflore is more akin to where I want to go in the future as a creator. Whereas Contessa Park was really me just fooling around with the themes, the base themes that we have in Planet Coaster 2. Is Belleflore owned by a different company to Yanko. So it's still owned by the Belleflore family. However, the entire operational aspects of Belleflore, so think the employees, the facilities, the technologies as well, would be basically owned. Well, not owned. Like they own the park. Like the Belleflore family owns the park. It's more on the operational. It's more of an operational partnership, essentially. If that makes any sense. So, kind of, I suppose. It's still in their portfolio, but it's a little bit different compared to the other Yanko parks that have been around on my channel, like, I don't know, from Parc Ciel Bleu to all the way up to Camtasso Park, I suppose. Oh, definitely Belleflore. Belleflore would be way cheaper to build in real life. Well, if you already have this, like, just imagine that this would already be here, and this would have been here for no, not thousands, hundreds of years, like 400 plus years, I suppose. I don't know, I'm not very good at math, but I'm definitely sure that it's over 400. And then you only have to add around this, so the land is already here, it's already owned by the family as well. So you only have to get the permits and obviously, build the things. And obviously the partnerships with every single company that's going to pay theming, rides, and what have you. Probably local stuff as well, like this. So, yeah. Camtasso Park is much more expensive. But anyway, Vapeur-sur-Aille, which is our first area. So you have to imagine that this was the very first area, not only that I've built, but also in the lore of the park. In the lore of the park, Vapeur-sur-Aille wasn't Vapeur-sur-Aille originally. It was not even named, in fact. And it was just a bunch of rides scattered around the area. And you have to imagine that in the very early days of the park, this was it. Like, that was the only thing that was in the park. There was no Alpenstadt, there was no Wild Water. Both of those came after that, post 2000, maybe late 90s actually, but most of it would have come by the early 2000 and late 90s. But yeah, this is why you have this weird collection of rides, some of which, including the Zemperl and Nebulas that we can probably see here, over there. You can see it just a little bit. You can also see the top of Opas Rodelman. Yes, sorry. But yeah, the collection of rides is pretty weird because of that. So you have a classic junior Ferris wheel, which has been reskinned, technically in the story of the park, to some train carriages. Then you have this beautiful custom playground, which I love. Like, I love the colors of those. Like, making a climbing structure in Planet Coaster is just so fun. It's not usable, but it's so fun. And you also have this little interactive sound. Listen to that. So when you press that button, there's a little speaker here, and this goes choo-choo. Choo-choo really is like the theme of this area, isn't it? And yeah, this is kind of a hybrid area between trains and the north of France. still dissatisfied that I'm too tall to enter the playground. Me too. Me too. Look at that. Though, by the way, speaking of the height requirements, every single height requirement has been realistically set. So, for example, if you look at the junior Ferris wheel in Belleflore, this is the actual height requirement. Same with the play area. Same with the chair swings over there. And this is one detail that I love looking at every single time. Like, I love just going on Google, Googling a ride, or going on a park's website and searching for a specific type of attraction. For example, Opa's Rodelbahn. I've taken a look at Tiki Waka, the height restrictions of Tiki Waka, to make sure that it was right as well. So every single height requirements that you can see when you go near a ride's entrance in my parks in general, not just this park. Camtasso Park already had that, actually. But yeah, you will definitely see that it's set realistically. Then you have Le Matinal. Le Matinal is our little coffee / boulangerie. Obviously, I still don't know much about coffee, but I hope that those prices are okay. Using my wait, there's in-game height markers? No, I've made them. Those are like poles or beams. I don't know exactly what they are. If you want to check it out, obviously you can just go on the Discord and go to the workshop channel and get my park. But yeah, no, it's basically poles that I've moved accordingly with the, you know, when you advance move an existing item, it tells you how much you're moving it, essentially. So if for instance, this thing, I would assume it's like 90-ish, 90 centimeters. So I would move it all the way down to the ground and then be rising it all the way till 90. And that's what we end up with. Quickfire question. Favorite ride you have made in Blanco 1 or 2? There are way too many for me to actually have a favorite. I'm sorry. No, I don't have a favorite. Like, I love them all equally because they've always they always have been, sorry, exactly what they needed to be. So yeah, I love everything. Obviously, I'm prouder of my more recent work because it's more modern. It's more me in the present. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's I love everything that I've done, even though some of it, like Parc Ciel Bleu, makes me cringe for sure. Hey Maxime, you're really close to my region, so that's cool. That is very, very cool. Welcome to the stream, by the way. I don't think I've seen you on the stream before. But yeah, as I was about to say before, talking about the height markers, you have the coffee machine that I've made for Camtasso Park that I've reused in there. I've also reused it in the upcoming project, which is great. Recreate Draco. Unfortunately, we cannot. We don't have Zero Tivoli's. that's a bit unfortunate. Then you have a bin here. You have obviously the light switches and the power outlets. Then you have some random boxes. You have a fridge here, teacups, or coffee cups, whatever you want. I suppose coffee cups because this is a coffee place. And then you have my sink that I've made here. And then you have, I suppose it's better to look at them from here. You have some croissants, you have some pain au chocolat, you have some eclairs, and then you have some baguettes. Ignore the fact that this is wood. Okay, this is definitely a baguette. Don't you drink coffee, by the way? No, I do not. I do not. I think the only times when I've had coffee, I think it was just to impress a girl, and it was a long time ago when I was 17, 16, I believe even. So yeah. Follow-up question: what's wrong with me? I don't know, but my heart rate is perfect, so you know. I can't complain. Oh, and also, yeah, another really cool detail. I suppose everyone got that, but the colors here are the colors of France. Then you go inside the train station, and this was really inspired by the local villages train stations that you can see here and there. With the SNCF, which is our local, not really local, but more like national train transit system, I suppose. And so you have the Voie 1, the Platform 1 and Platform 2. I love, by the way, Platform 2 just because it's like this little place you can just sit in and just chill away from the main path. This is very important to have those things in parks. And then you have the train spotting photo kiosk, which I just love. Like, this is an actual train carriage. So you have to imagine that those are obviously invisible paths. And then this is a photo kiosk for Choo Choo, which is all the way over there. Can I see it? Yeah, there it is. I love this so much. But anyway, we'll be back to it. I just love how now we're able to do that thanks to invisible pathing. Like, this is just so cool. And we have printers, by the way. I don't know if you guys knew that. Then you have Eau de Nord. So this is ode. I think this is a thing you say in English. Ode to the North, essentially. And this is a little model railway around what we call a terrier. So that's a spoil tip. I've done that on live, I believe. Or at the very least, the railway and the train. I've done that on the live stream. Then you have the coron. So those are the neighborhood for the miners. Those very typical brick houses that you can find around my region. And then you have the actual mine, because obviously if you have a spoil tip, you have the mine nearby. And you can really recognize those thanks to those big mining elevators that you can actually find at Efteling with Baron. I love that. I really liked your Serene Gardens episodes on Blanco 1. Wow, that was a long time ago. Have you been around since Serene Gardens then? That is crazy. Crazy. But you're a real OG. Thank you so much for sticking around. And then you have the metallurgy factory. Basically, obviously, if you get some coal and some ore, then you have to smelt it, and that's where it would go. But yeah, if you listen, I'm not sure you're gonna be able to listen to that with the stream because it might be a bit too quiet. But if you listen closely, you can actually listen to the train going tick 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 tick, and that's because I don't think I can. No, I can't. But in the center of the diorama, there's a cog animatronic that you cannot see, which is hidden just to make that sound. And I love that detail. And then we have Chushu on platform 1. And I love Chushu. In general, whoops. No. Okay, you know what? Let me bring up the HUD. There we go. Car number 4. And I want this, I think. Yes. There we go. Yeah, I love my track rides. Way too much. Like, we need more track rides. Like, track rides in Planet Coaster 2 need way more love. I just love how my track rides are sitting on the water here. So you're able to look at the unfinished park. Yeah, you can imagine how cool this will look once the park is complete as well. You go right near the Zempeler Nebulas, which is absolutely amazing. Like, I love this thing. It's a bit of a shame that the queue is not able to be bigger than that. And then, of course, yes, you have the pedestrian crossing. Are we going to run anyone over? Oh, those people. There we go. Yay. And then you have the transfer track if you don't need the other train that is going around the layout at this point. And yeah, you can see that the station for that has been hidden really, really well. Mostly with those, what are those called? Those, basically dirt textures, essentially, that you have from the planters. So that's how I've hid the most of the station. Like, the station goes all the way over there. It looks like it's only this, thanks to the work I've done. So you have only the platform to worry about, and then you have some benches. I don't know if you guys knew that, by the way, but you can actually put some benches and some bins in the stations of your coasters and rides and whatever. Probably on flat rides as well. The average family park is filled with track rides. Very much need more of those in Blanco. Yes, absolutely. Like, that would be a blessing, an absolute blessing, for sure. I only recently started Blanco 2 on PC, but I'm overwhelmed. Would I start building? Just start building small things. If you're like a real beginner, this would be my best advice. Like, just try to make, I don't know, a ride blueprint or a flat ride skin or something like that. Like, really start small, and once you find your footing with those small stuff, those small things, you can try to put them together and make a park, if that makes any sense. Like, instead of saying, oh yeah, I'm gonna do a park right away, the best thing to do is to focus your efforts on small parts of what would make a park eventually. That is the best advice that I can give anyone who's a beginner on Planet Coaster. Or Planet Zoo, actually. In fact, that's pretty much the same process. What do you think will be the best coaster at the end of Belleflore? Oof. I think it's gonna be Borealis, or at least it's my favorite coaster. It's definitely going to be Borealis. Borealis is the Mac Mega. So the Mac Mega is going to be. Let me show you. There we go. The Mac Mega is going to be all the way over here even though it's going to be so big that it's probably going to be running right next to Vapeur-sur-Aille. But yeah, it's probably going to be my favorite. This is definitely the one that I'm looking forward to the most, yes. But in the end, there's going to be such a diverse offer in the park with rides, not just coasters, right, but rides in general, that everyone will have a different favorite, and this is what I want. I basically want to make my parks as good as they can so that everyone thinks that one thing is good, if that makes any sense. Welcome back, miss, and welcome, Grimdev. Nice to see you. Yeah, just play career as well and mess around in sandbox. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure because those are two very different styles of gameplay. Personally, I've never touched the career modes because I don't like those. I'm much more. I enjoy the creative aspect of the game much more than the management. Even though I do pick a few things from the management side of the game to make my parks feel more alive, like for example the gift shops or janitors or I don't know, shops or what have you, and I deactivate some other things that I don't want to work with. Yes. Like what was in Serene Gardens? Not sure what you're talking about there, Wonky. Thanks for the tip. I remember I had the same problem on Blanco 1 on console, but I only finished one complete park. Hey, if you finished already a park, like that's already quite the accomplishment. So then there's Choo Choo! Choo Choo is our Zierer Force coaster, which we can see here. Going back to the station. As always, you have the handicapped access, very important to me. And another thing, the wait times that that you see in the park are actually representative of the actual wait time. So if the queue line is all the way here, it means it's 15, well, under 15 minutes long. We always overestimate, if that makes any sense. Oh, and that guy just decided to go away. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna be able to take a look at it from the station here. Yeah. This here, this entire thing, is only a facade. And all of it inside, as you can see here, is just a big black box, which we'll see once we get outside of the area right here. And we, of course, have the operator booth with the ride stats. This is what the operator sees. Pretty nice place to be, honestly. Like, this is another thing. I tried to make sure that every single employee would enjoy working at the park because the setting is good, if that makes any sense. The Mac Mega? I think, Wonky, you're talking about Bumbleglade, not Serene Gardens. And yes, somewhat similarly, it's a Mac Mega is a Mac Mega, you know. Is this based on a real coaster? It kind of is. At first, the first half of the element is kind of inspired by Zierer Force. I don't remember the number, but the one you can find at... Okay, so I have to... So how does that work again? Yay! Like the one you can find at Holiday Park well, now Plopsaland Deutschland, which is called Tabalugas Achterbahn. But then, so in the lore of the park, this would have been the original model, but then it would have been retracked to be what it is now when the area got rethemed. Yeah, it's pretty old, I think. I chose this model because it was around in the late 90s. So yeah, definitely. Like not only the model, mind you, but also the cloned model of the coaster type, if that makes any sense. And this is the first time I used the right photos, by the way. The 90s isn't old to me. I wasn't born in the 90s, that's why I'm saying that. And also something really cool, as you can see, there's smoke going up out of the smokestack here. And you have the smoke machine underneath it. Much like oh, what's the name of that one? Voldenf at Trips Drill. So there we go. And obviously, if you needed the accessibility exit, you would go back out from the elevator, obviously. And this will take you to the right photos. Which, yeah, I really like this feature. I use it on every single coaster that I've made since then. It's so good. Let me blow my nose real quick. There we go. Choo-choo reminds me so much of Huracan at the same time. Great feeling, but a lot of visible warehouse as well. Yeah, in fact, Choo-choo, the model, well, the the Zierer Force is no, sorry, Huracan is also a Zierer Force, so that makes sense. Yeah, in fact. Look at those seats. Those are custom seats. Like, we don't have the Zierer Force headrests that you can find on those type of coasters. So I made custom ones just for that purpose, just so that it looks like a Zierer Force. And yeah, here you can see the backstages. So this is something I really want to do with this park. I started it, but obviously it's still like very early stages. But here you have the maintenance for Choo Choo. You can even see a little bit of reality coming back, but you can only see it from over in the backstage areas. Thank you, Broccoli. Thank you for paying me for blowing my nose. I know this is quality content. Love the numbers? Yes. Every time you'll see one of my rides that has the right photos, the numbers will always be 1608 at some point. Like, every time you see 1608 somewhere, it's just a little Easter egg with my name, obviously. So yeah, we've seen the maintenance area for the brake run. There it is. And I've also added those. Those are speed limits signs. Not everything is self-promo, especially if it's in my park. Like, come on. And then you have the backstage access to the machinery for the little junior Ferris wheel that we have here. So if you follow this, unfortunately I haven't pathed this because that would be so hard to do, especially with the terrain. But yeah, we have a little path that goes all the way at the back of that tiny Ferris wheel. Then you have a stop sign for that little intersection. This will be one of the staff parking lots, I believe, with some of the offices of Belleflore on PC, because it's linked to the guest services over there. And then, if you go all the way down here, you have the show building for Choo Choo, and obviously there's the ladder, so the roof is also done. You have some parking spaces for the technicians, and then you can actually go and walk inside the show building, and this is one of my favorite details in the park. So obviously the ride is running now, but yeah. This is just so cool, and you have several doors leading to back of house things. Like, for example, here you have, oh my goodness, it's got dark. But yeah, you have the what's it called, the water pumps, because there's a waterfall here with a little bridge, and then you have the local technique to go back up to the brake run, which is really, really cool. I really, really like this space. Like, I'm really proud, especially to have had the idea of adding pathing all around this area, just so you can walk. Can I put the torch on? Yes, I can. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, you guys can probably not see a lot, but yeah. This is just a boring warehouse, isn't it? And you even got some power outlets and light switches, obviously. Yeah, this is really cool. Like, I really like this. Really, really like this little building. Ah, no, Broccoli's leaving. Yeah, it's too late for his old ass. Oh, I've said ass. Oops. That's fine. Other detail, you'll see those manhole covers all throughout the park. And then if you go all the way here, thank you, Zach, and welcome to the stream. So you have the back stages of the bistro here. So you have the trash here, you have a generator, which I've added only in the latest version of the map. And then this can lead you to the actual restaurant here. So we're back in Nord-Pas-De-Calais, right here with the bistro. I don't think I've checked this out. Hold on, just before we go take a look at the bistro, I just want to... Come on, be civilized. I hate it when the guests... There we go, we have our heavy-duty janitors here on the job. Look at this. This is why I pay them good money. Yeah, you have this little terrace here with a vending machine, custom vending machine, obviously. Very much inspired by the one I've done for the Future City contest that Frontier has totally forgotten about. But yeah, with those the little text pieces to make those little coils, and obviously all of the drinks are inspired by the little buttons that you have here. Then you have the push, and that's about it. Yeah, it's really cool. You have those toilets as well, and obviously the Zemperla Nebula's La Machine à Vapeur. Oh yeah, it's not the first contest Frontier forgot about. It's such a shame as well, because I feel like if they made a bigger deal out of it, I feel like it would be such a cool thing, you know. I remember when I was younger, I was playing a lot of Little Big Planet on my PS3 and 4. Not much 4, because I feel like Little Big Planet 3 was a bit of a buggy mess. But definitely 1 and 2, and I think that they used to do some awards here and there, and that was the best, because like they actually valued the user-generated content. And I feel like they were starting to do that with the featured creators and what have you, but they've kind of forgotten about that. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. I don't even know why I've been talking about that. But yeah, this is our little pedestrian crossing, so that we use 100% of the space. And yeah, when the train goes by, you have this little light that turns to red. Alright, so next up is the bistro. So fun fact about the bistro, actually. The main reason why I've put a bistro is to be a callback to Parc Ciel Bleu. In many ways, this park is the evolution of Parc Ciel Bleu, my very first park, because Parc Ciel Bleu really was what I wanted to do, but I didn't quite know how to do it. Now I do know how to do it, and so I really took full advantage of what I've learned throughout the past, almost 4 years, actually, wow, to make all of this, and the bistro was something that I had in Parc Ciel Bleu, albeit not that detailed, and way more, way worse than what we have here. So yeah, we have our menu. I'm not going to read all of this. It's just a lot of specialties that, well, except the hamburger and the cheeseburgers, which are more traditional food items that you can have in parks. But then you have the pièce de bœuf, the burger au maroilles, which is a cheese that we have in northern France. The Welsh, don't worry, no Welsh people were harmed in the making of those. And then the moule, the mussels, I believe they are called in English. And then in the desserts you have chocolate cake and some eclairs. So yeah, really, really cool. And then you have the beer of the moment. As you go inside, you have the classic self-service. Take your tray, your plate. Then you choose one of the dishes, and every single dish has been represented here. So, for example, this is la pièce de bœuf. This is the hamburger, cheeseburger, maroilles cheeseburger, the Welsh, and the mussels. Fun fact, I've cooked some mussels on Sunday evening, and that was amazing. I would love to do it again. Like, this was literally my first time doing some mussels, so that's actually kind of fun, that 3 or 4 days after that I do this park tour and talk about mussels. And then you have the fries and the desserts here, and then you can get your drinks, not your drinks, your glasses for the drinks, and your utensils.
You do not step on Mel.
I'm just gonna switch to French because I saw that. Oh, actually, you do understand English. Okay, so I'm gonna answer in English, so that's better for everyone here. So basically, resilience is asking where I learned to speak English, and basically, I taught myself. Not quite. Um, Basically, and you will know this because you're also French. In CM1 and CM2, I got introduced to the English language very early on, and then back when I was in sixième, um, so in college, I I realized that the level of the people who were with me in English they weren't as good as I was. So I started teaching myself essentially, and so from 2012, I want to say. So from no, 2012 or 2011, whatever, in those waters, I started teaching myself by watching things in English, reading things in English, and so on and so forth. So much so that in I would say in about 3 years, I was kind of able to have a conversation with anyone in English, which was really good. But learning a language is not something that you one day choose to do, and that's it. You'll always do it for. You'll always be perfect. It's something that you learn throughout your life, and honestly, to this day, I'm still learning things about the English language. So, yeah, that's the story behind how I uh, learned English. Sorry for the little tangent, by the way. But yeah, this is our little restaurant. Fun fact, we have some ride pictures here. So cool. Like, I love having those. You can just imagine that those are legacy pictures of the rides, and I love that. I love that so much. Even though that's just a way to use quote unquote custom media without having access to custom media. And unfortunately, I had to repeat the same ride picks. But obviously, once I have, for example, the wooden coaster, the Mac coaster, the Mac Mega, sorry, and I don't know, the water coaster. We'll see uh, which comes first. But yeah, I'll have more of those. You can see that the entire wiring has been done as well. This would be a really old building, as old as the park itself. Like this would probably be the oldest restaurant in the park. Nah, Wonky, I'm not really in the mood for talking French, and I have to crack on because we've been going for an hour and 37 minutes, and we've only done like half the park. Yeah, some other day when I'm able to fool around a little more, I'll definitely speak a little French for you. Hey Marilyn, didn't see you here. That's nice to see you. Yeah, long time no see in stream format, that's for sure. That doesn't sound right, does it? No, it does. I totally understand. To be fair, I've been missing streaming. Um, I've definitely wanted to stream a few times, but still wanted to, as I've explained earlier in the stream, basically streaming meant having a cut in my momentum on the projects that I'm working on, if that makes any sense. When I'm working on other projects, not doing what I'm doing right now, a park tour. and that's why I haven't been streaming as much. I'd rather focus on the videos because the videos give me more growth on the channel, if that makes any sense. You know, more views, more subscribers and everything. Even though I still value streaming because it's still the best way to connect with all you guys, I just want to. Oh, I missed the sign. Sorry. So yeah, welcome to. Well, actually, let me do that in German. Willkommen in Alpenstadt. There we go. Now it's time for the German area, Alpenstadt, and obviously, I don't know if you guys ever saw that. If you've toured the park, you've definitely seen that. But yeah, this is Vapeur-sur-Rail in the sign to go inside Vapeur-sur-Rail, but it's like inspired by those what do I mean? You know, when you enter a village, essentially, this is what it's meant to be, but a French one specifically. Loving all of this, great stream to watch while cleaning and cooking. Yeah, streams are really cool. Like, in general, long format videos are really cool to watch while, I don't know, doing something else in general. Like, recently, obviously, you guys know. Oh yeah, by the way, after this stream, if you go to Iron Maddie's channel, there's going to be a, well, there probably already is, in fact, his spotlight of Camtasso Park, so definitely do check that out after the stream or tomorrow or whatever. I'll probably have a post talking about that in the morning, so don't worry about that. But yeah, for example, I like to put some Iron Maddie spotlights in the background while I build, for example, because I'm mostly building these days. But yeah, welcome to my favorite area so far in the park, Alpenstadt, and yeah, look at this view. It's just so cool. I feel like Alpenstadt is so it feels so alive, right? It feels really alive. What would you say is your schedule? I don't have any. My schedule is like the messiest thing. Basically, the way my schedule works is I have a project, I finish the project, I make the video, I release the video. That's how it works. It's not not overly complicated. It's just like a thing is ready when it's ready, if that makes any sense. That's how I work. So yeah, resilience, to answer your question here, or your suggestion, I suppose. The reason why I don't translate my videos in French is because the French people who are already watching my videos are talking in English. Doing my videos in English allows me to have a wider audience than I would if I were only talking to French. And also, translating videos in French is twice as much work. So that's just not a question. I'm not doing that ever again. I used to do that in the first videos. I think if you look at the Parc Ciel Bleu episodes from very early on in my channel back in 2022, like 3 years ago, those were actually those actually had subtitles in French. I think so. Don't quote me on that. I'm not actually sure. Mostly feels like you upload monthly. Not necessarily these days. Like these days, I've. If I look at it, I think I've done one upload a week for the past 2 months, I want to say. And by upload, I mean either short or long video. Oh yeah, by the way, those guys actually use the mini golf. Anyway, enough talk about what I do on the channel. Like, this is the oldest trap in the book, like talking about what I do on the channel, and I'm not talking about exactly what is in the park, but yeah. I gotta go stream myself soon. Want to see more, please? Yeah, don't worry. We'll crack on. So, no more questions or suggestions about the channel, please. Let's crack on for Dragonborn to be able to see as much as he can. So yeah, this is our mini golf. An actual working mini golf, if you can believe it. So yeah, they're open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And you can get time slots every 10 minutes from 10:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. And this is a gift shop, so why do you have an umbrella? Okay, that was weird. But anyway, yeah, this is a little gift shop, but also where you can start the mini golf. And honestly, this is like one of the best blueprints I've ever done, and this was done in partnership with Broccoli. So I've done the designs for the holes, and for each of the 18 holes, I mean, and then he's done the animations. And what the result is this, which is just so cool. Like, I cannot wait to see Iron Maddie's reaction to those, because I'm pretty sure that so far he does not know about those. And once he does realize that those things work, this is gonna blow his tiny mind. I cannot wait. I'm so glad Maddie is back, by the way. Like, this is... we're probably at the best... like, the community in general is in the best state it's been in years, honestly. But anyway, yes. Mini golf, that works so well, it broke my no workshop rule. Yeah, I could see how this would be a problem indeed. And this is probably something that I'm gonna reiterate with future projects with Broccoli. Like, we'll probably make more mini golfs in the future. So far, this is the basic one that we've done for Belleflore, obviously, but yeah. Top 10 best parks in Blanco too. Thank you so much, Luca. Thank you so much. How did you get the balls to react to the click? Simple enough, actually. If you didn't know, hold on, there we go. Those are sequencers, essentially. And sequencers basically trigger a sequence of moving platforms, which makes the ball do the animations. And then it's just like magic, moving platform magic that Broccoli has done so that the animation look as seamless as possible. This one is a reference to Roller Coaster Tycoon, the original, with the little, I think it's hole B, I want to say, in that game. So that's the little zigzag looking hole, and the animation is pretty much what it was in this game. And obviously I haven't been talking about that, but you can see the little dioramas all throughout this this little mini golf area. Like the cable car, there you have some paragliders, love those so much. You have the castle over there. The reason why there are paragliders is because this one is kind of called the Cliff. Then you have the little sign that welcomes you into Brunnenstadt, with the little train station. Then you go over a stream into Brunnenstadt. Oop, I've missed this one. There we go. Going next to the car ride, because obviously I've got to maximize the interactions. It's always about using as much the space as much as you can, if that makes any sense. The available space, I mean. Then one of my favorites, the fountain. I love this little bounce that the ball does. So cute. Then you have the church. With the bells. Then you have the little bridge over the stream. There we go. Then you have the forests. The wolf cave. With audio again. There we go. Then you have a little Healy forest. And a castle. There we go. And I love how this one is kind of elevated, just so you can look at everything you've been through, essentially. This is cool. As you can see, the guests are kind of walking here, because obviously I've put some pathing here. But obviously they're not going through the mini-golf. Maybe one day Frontier can add a mini-golf, because this is like so cool. Can you move? Thank you. And then the final hole, I kind of wanted it to be a stunt, you know, a cool stunt over the water and back here, and then you can put your ball back in this hole, and that was a bit of a dirty thing to say. And so at the end of the day, that person can basically get them back from a little bucket here. And as always, everywhere in my buildings here, you'll see some light switches and power outlets. And then we get to the actual area with Alpine ice. So this means alpine ice, essentially, in English. Really easy to understand in English now that I think about it. An ice cream parlor. Not really parlor, more stand, really. And you have 8 different flavors. So let me translate that. That's vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, pistachio, violet, banana, caramel, and cherry. There we go. And you have the Soda Max soda fountain that I had in the restaurant. You still have those power outlets and light switches, and obviously here it leads to the backstage access, which we have another one here at the entrance of the area. And you can go out here, and here you have Avalanche. So Avalanche is a classic Monteleone style ride with a little mountain at the center of the ride, so that it spins with the ride as it goes around. Really fun. It's nothing much, but I really like it because it's really inspired by the flat ride covers that I've seen at Tripsdrill, which is a German park it's in Germany, but I'm not exactly sure what I don't exactly even know what the regions in Germany are called, but yeah, it's inspired by that park regardless, and this entire area is really inspired by Tripsdrill, to be fair. You have a small bit of staff path at the entrance to the backstage. No, the because the basically at first this is what I've done, but then it dawned on me that the staff could go in there, and I don't want them to get lost in those. You know, if I have janitors, if they get lost here, they're kind of useless, right? So when I go here, you can see that I kind of get blocked, like right here. And so what I did is do a tiny gap so that you as a player can cross the gap, but the AI cannot realize that this path exists. So yeah, there we go. Look at this. It's all about the views, this area, really. Like, look at this with Opas-Rodelbahn. And the water wheel. I love the water wheel. And the stream, like, come on. So cool. So cool. In fact, we'll take a look at... actually, no, you know what? Since there's no access at the end of the area, well, not yet, at the very least. There will be eventually. So this is where the backstages for the bistro is. Then you have the machinery for Avalanche, because it goes under the ride, essentially. And don't mind the absence of foliage here. This is because everything you see here is subject to change. Once I get on PC, obviously, I will probably do more with what's outside of those fences here. And I've missed something. There it is. The water pumps for Alpenstadt, because let me get back with an overhead view just to show you that there are some water pumps here, which implies that the water is running underneath the service road here and going all the way back up to the Alpenstadt water pumps, so that it feeds into the stream, and then it goes all the way down into the main lake, which is like such a nerdy attention to detail, I know, but like, come on. You can't tell me that it's not cool. It's way too cool. I love it so much. So yeah, there's probably going to be another staff parking lot over here in the future. Here we have the maintenance access for Opas-Rodelbahn with the transfer track here. Because yeah, this is something that's pretty unique. The transfer track is all the way up on the hill side, because obviously it's way easier for the maintenance people to get here from the backstage areas without having to, you know, without having to get in the park, without being seen, essentially. And here you have one of the evac routes for block section 3 that you can see here. Yeah, and you're playing a game about making model trains and theme park. It cannot get more nerdier than that. Yeah, I get it. But it can. It can. Try me, miss. Try me. You know I can get very nerdy. And no doubt when I'm able to have, like, no restrictions whatsoever, I'll definitely be even more nerdy than I am right now. Beware. Oh, I walked into a guy. No. So yeah, all that to show you where and how the stream works, essentially, because I love this little thing. And all of that, by the way, is water shapes. Those are not water, because this is way too shallow for the water the terrain water, I mean, to work. So yeah, this is how I've done this. You can kind of see it here with the irregularities in the water shapes, but I think it's fine, honestly. I think the effect is really, really cool. Fun fact about this this little evac route. Sorry, I had to search for what it was called. I originally had a path that led all the way to the lift hill, to the bottom of the lift hill over there. The problem is that some guests were getting stuck in here, so I decided to remove it, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Here you have the toilets for this area, the right photos, which actually are working because there's a person in the walls. Yeah, this is how we do technology at Yankotech. We put some people in your walls. But yeah, this is how you can do a digital right pick kiosk, essentially. And then we have Opa's Rodelbahn, which means Grandpa's bobsled track, sled track? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, Grandpa's sled track. He's developing the photos in the dark room, definitely, yes, absolutely. So yeah, once again we have the elevator for the handicapped access, very important. There's like a whole separate queue line, quote unquote, for those people. Then it goes all the way around this blue building. And here you have the main cattle pen, which gives you beautiful views of our little Gerstlauer Bobsled. There we go. But also of the park. And this view, when the park will be complete, is gonna be amazing. I cannot wait. Then you have a little Christian symbol, because... not Christian, sorry. You know what I mean, a religious symbol. I'm useless with religions, so I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend. I'm so sorry. A cross. There we go. That's a cross. And then you have a little drawer here. Little chimney. Little photo. This is meant to be the house. Oh yeah, because I haven't talked about the little storyline behind this ride, because I've talked about that already in the episode. But let's reiterate. Essentially, this is the house of the grandchildren of the grandpa in the story, because the grandpa is a retired woodcarver who makes some sleds for his grandchildren, and so this is what you're going to ride, and this is why there are 4 sleds. There are 4 grandchildren. In fact, all of the sleds are named, and we'll take a look at that in a second. Who have I missed? Hey Slopo, Safe Fritz, hey Aerotech, nice to see you guys, welcome to the stream. So yeah, this is what I've been talking about earlier, the little side accessible access essentially for this ride, and then you have this little canopy here. Looking at the right area, here you have the emergency exit for block section 4 and 5. This is our station here. So this is the workshop of the grandpa in the story, of Opa's. And here he has a photo of his grandchildren. And here you can see that he's working on the sleds. This is really, really cool. I love that. Is the park file already public? Yes, it is. It's been public for about 2 weeks, something like that. Yeah, 2 weeks. It's been public since episode 4, essentially. So if you want to download that, you can either go in the description of episode 4 and 5, where you'll find the share code, or go on the Discord in the workshop channel and then find the Belleflore. It's probably one of the latest creations posted on there, to be fair. So yeah. And as I was saying, yeah, every single sled is named. So this one is France. The red one, well, when I say red one, is this this blanket at the back is colored red. So this is gonna be the next one. This is Richard. And the blue one is Roland. And the white one is Hélène. So Richard and Hélène are my grandparents. So Hélène is the same Hélène that's been featured on the statue near the manor, and of course Roland and Franz are the founders of Mack Rides and Europa Park. Roland and Franz Mack. For the little story. Everything is an Easter egg. Nothing is random in my parks. Like, everything has a purpose in my parks. Honestly, those interiors look so similar to the ones my grandparents lived in. Really? Well, that was kind of lucky, honestly, because I didn't base it on anything. I kind of, went with it. You know what? Speaking of going with it, let's go on this ride. So yeah, that was kind of lucky. And then you have Veuillez garder les bras à l'intérieur de votre luge. So that means please keep your hands inside your sled. And yeah, the water wheel is there to imply that the mechanism is being powered by the water to go all the way up to the hill. And here you have this very classic wild mouse element. Then you have the transfer track with block section 2. Then you go into a little more modern thing with still the old little airtime bumps here with the photo that's just been here. Little more wild mousey turn. It's really classic. And fun fact, this area was supposed to be the home of an alpine coaster as well. Unfortunately, I did not end up doing that because I didn't have enough percentage, obviously. But you can definitely see how this bobsled was definitely made so that it was also an alpine coaster, if that makes any sense. So in many ways, this bobsled is really, really good. It's probably my best bobsled that I've ever done, and I've done a lot of them. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, I think. 5, yes, definitely 5, yes. So among the 5, it's definitely top 1. It's definitely the best and the most realistic one, just because it's really featuring classic elements of wild mice, sorry, not mouses, and bobsleds, but also there's this added layer of the terrain coaster, which really echoes my plans for the what's it called, the alpine coaster. So yeah, there it is. Right, so I'm gonna do a little break. I'm gonna leave you guys with another time the POV of our little bobsled, but I really have to go to the bathroom, so yeah, I'll leave you on the coaster in the meantime. And I am back. Thank you for being so patient. So, I've skipped over a few messages, so let me catch up. The level of detail is crazy, so much creativity too. Thank you so much, Fritz. Love the Opa. For sure. And the Opa loves you, for sure. I gotta go, my dude, Smashing Park. We'll download it and stream it at some point. Oh, that's awesome, Dragonborn. I think you've already left, but definitely mention me on YouTube when you do, so I can check it out as well. I still think it's crazy you build all this. Well, I haven't even started customizing the trains for Berserker. Yeah, it's okay though. Like, you have to imagine that I do this, I was about to say for a living, but not quite a living. But I still do this as my job, so that totally makes sense why I would make more stuff than you, because, you know, you have a life, and I don't. No, but you have a whole life. Like, this is you're very much treating it as what it is, a game, whereas I'm treating it as my job, you know, so, yeah, this is why. I love how it follows the elevation of the mountain. Yeah, me too, actually. Me too. This is probably my favorite aspect of this coaster. Like, this is really what made me realize that I loved terrain coasters, and I'm probably, not even probably, like definitely going to make more in the future of this park, obviously, because the geography, not the geography, the topography, yeah, of this park definitely calls for that. Did you build the coaster layout first or the terrain? I believe I did both simultaneously. Like, as I was building the coaster, I was kind of adjusting the terrain a little bit. So it was definitely something that I did. Like, I did the two together, for sure, yeah. Pork churros would be nice right now. You definitely want the Mexican area. That's gotta be all the way over there. Probably gonna put some churros here. There we go. Train goes all the way over our heads with max height of 2 meters and 15 centimeters. And then you're back down here. Let's chat, what is your favorite part of Belleflore? The coasters. Okay, cool. The mini golf? Yeah, the mini golf is an absolute gem, yeah, for sure. Scenery, the buildings, and the rides. When is the next video coming? Because I love them. Well, first of all, welcome to the stream fed, and second of all, thank you. And third of all, probably next week. I'm currently writing a new video about a project that's very, very cool that VIP supporters and channel supporters have seen. It's yeah, it's gonna be a cool one. I hope I don't hype it too much, honestly, because it might be underwhelming, but to me it's very much along the lines of what I like to do. You know, I much more enjoy family coasters and junior coasters rather than the big massive coasters, even though I do love those as well, but I really enjoy doing family coasters and everything. So yeah, to me, it's really cool. To you guys, it might be underwhelming. We'll see. Right, anyway, so let's continue our little tour. Which area did you like the most to build so far? In this park, definitely Alpenstadt. Well, to be fair, there are only 2.5 areas. No, let's say 3 actually. Because I suppose the manor grounds are an area on their own, you know. They're technically the entrance. So yeah, it would definitely be between Alpenstadt and the entrance manor grounds. I don't exactly which one I like better. I think I like how I used the space in Alpenstadt, so this area. But I really like how I was basically unleashed, as if I was on PC with the entrance area, which definitely isn't the case with Alpenstadt. I mean, if you look at this building and that building are technically the same assets that have been modified to be slightly different, but yeah. And then we have the Biergarten with a little funny detail. I don't know if you guys who have toured the park have seen that, but here is a little broken sled that has crashed because he's missed the little ramp. I think it's a really nice detail. Probably one of my favorite details, in fact, in the park. Just because it adds so much to the story. It's really, really cool. Rouladen for under 10 euros in this economy. I need to visit right now. Yeah, we all need some Belleflore in our lives. For sure. Would be here all day drinking beer and viewing the coaster. Yeah, me too, honestly. Me too. And will you ever make a custom coaster? Ride station tutorial and how to hide them? Honestly, I'm not really into making tutorials because they're really boring to make. I'm sorry. I'm trying to have fun with my video making, and tutorials are definitely not the most fun that I can have. Like I've done maybe 2 tutorials, and even one was more like a technical documentation, I mean. And the other tutorial was kind of meh. So honestly, instead of having me do a tutorial, just look at what I do, essentially, in my parks. Like, look at how I transform my stations and my custom coasters and try to pick them apart. And that way, you'll know how I do them. Where are those guys going? Where are you going? Oh. That was a weird thing. Okay, yeah, this happens when you have a compact area. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, basically what I've told you is how I've personally learned how to do things. Like, I've never watched... Okay, I've watched one tutorial, and I'm not even sure that was a tutorial. And it was all the way back in 2022. I've watched Moomin's... what was the name of that? I think it was How to Be Good at Planet Coaster. I think this is the single tutorial that I've seen in my life. Not in my life, but in Planet Coaster. Regarding Planet Coaster, I mean. And everything else I've just tried to understand things as I visited them. So that would be my tutorial. Visit as many parks, as many creations as you can, and try to pick them apart to try to understand what people have done. That is the real tutorial, not tutorials. I feel like tutorials make it seem easy when it's not. Planet Coaster as a game really requires your patience and not so much creativity. Even though it's a big part of it, I feel like patience is the biggest part of Planet Coaster. Anyway. Is that a manhole cover? Yes, there are some manhole covers throughout the park. In fact, for sure. Hey, I'm back. Is Broccoli gone? Yeah, Broccoli is gone, unfortunately. So, the Biergarten. This is the inside of the beer gardens. This is also a self-service restaurant. So, here you have a little reference to Duct Tape Forum, who was kind enough to put his pretzels on the workshop. So that's why you have the pretzel mark. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna be able to do it, I swear. for in the name of all the Germans in there, the Brezelmacher, something like that. And then you have the share codes for the pretzels that Duct Tape Forum has done. And here, obviously, you have the Kartoffelsalat. Here you have the pretzels. What was the code for the ride safety sign you use again? I'm not sure I'm not sure which you mean, Florker. Welcome to the stream, by the way. I don't tend to use anything from the workshop, so it's probably something I've made. Either way, just join my Discord, look up the workshop channel, and then add the by Yan BK filter. You'll probably find everything I've ever done in Planet Coaster 2, if you're looking for that. And all the share codes of everything that I've ever done as well. And yeah, the bratwurst, the currywurst. What else? The sauerkraut and the rouladen. Oh, and the strudel as well. The strudel. There it is. And yeah, you have various types of beers that I believe it was Hendrik and I want to say Osna who helped me to come up with those. And you also have the Strong Joy Ale for everyone who's a Critical Role fan as well. Here you have the beer mugs. Thank you for joining, Fed. Have a great night. Then you have this little interior here. And you can see that this was after the Sorcery Pack released. I think this was the week the Sorcery Pack released, in fact. Just because of all this. And then obviously you have... I haven't talked about the tray return thingies. But yeah, they're here, and they were also in the bistro. And look at this view, like, come on. This is just breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking. Like this is probably the park that I'm the proudest of. Yeah, this is something. And people are being so dirty here. Yeah, of course, water drainage is very important, especially in places where water can accumulate. I feel like it's very important to have water drainage. Gotta copy that. It's just a decal. It's nothing fancy, to be fair. It's not even a 3D object, you know. But yeah, it's all the little things like this, for example, this little bridge that you go under when going up to the beer garden. By the way, the reason why the beer garden is like, well, you go up to the beer garden like this, is because it needed to be accessible. So that way I don't have to do an elevator again. And this is the emergency exit of this queue line, just in case something goes wrong. Oh, and also, can you upload it to the workshop? Then you have the little staff area, where they can even have breaks here if they want to have, I don't know, a smoke or something. I don't encourage smoking, by the way. And yeah, it's really, really cool because you can see that it's really right next to, I believe it's even on the flat right plot, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, that is really, really cool. We'll get there in a second. And here I added those little forbidden signs, just so that people don't climb up there. They would probably still climb up there, and staff would have to tell people that to not do that. Here we have the takeaway bar, essentially, of the beer garden. Beer gardens? Ah, oh my goodness, beer garden. There we go. It's getting late. That's why I'm stumbling over my own words. And the only difference is the triple Carmelite. That is my favorite beer. This is usually the one beer that I like to drink, even though I don't like to drink any beer in general. And look at that. Look at the little curvature of the wall here. Really, really cool. Then you have Oktoberfest. Which, fun fact, was supposed to be a teacups ride at the beginning, but unfortunately those are way too big, and so I didn't go with that in the end. But that would have been nice, because they would have been themed to beer mugs and you know, being drunk, which is always fun, I suppose. But instead you can be drunk with a tilt-a-whirl. And here is the little queue line. And this is the access to the Norwegian area, Fiskekysten, which is going to be on PC, obviously. And here is going to be a staff area, backstage area, sorry, for the Mac Mega Coaster. So you can imagine that the transfer track is going to be right next to here, which is why this little backstage area for the car ride is linked here. You can imagine that the road would go all the way here, kind of like it does near the end or entrance, I suppose. Depends on where you come from, of Alpenstadt. So yeah, you can imagine another gate here and another gate here that would help them. I'm sorry, I've just I just have to say this this online name, this gamer tag or whatever, aloud because it's legendary and it like threw me off absolutely. Welcome, Anaconda Balls. This is like one of the best names I've seen while streaming. Welcome, you've got one of the best names I've ever seen, honestly. This is so funny. No, don't be sorry. It's your name. It's fine. It's so funny. I like it. I like it. Anyway, I'm trying to get back to into the mood of doing the tour. Yeah, something that I love is the little jumping fountains here. Really inspired by what you can find in Disneyland Paris, in Alice's Curious Labyrinth, I think it is. You can find that early in the maze, and it's really cool. It's almost hypnotic. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of hypnotic. And this goes over Dorfreise, which is our little car ride. So I believe that Dorfreise means something like countryside trip, something like that. I don't exactly remember. I think it was Haukeland's girlfriend who helped us come up with that. Because Haukeland was my contact. Every time I wanted to check something in German, I dropped a DM to make sure that something was correct or if it could be improved. And the idea is to go around this garden that the florist, whose house we're in right now, has planted. And so there's this little mechanic who does the travel through a village. Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, so you have this little mechanic workshop, which is kind of repurposed because they are doing those little tours. It's really fun. I believe that Autoschlüssel means car keys, if I'm not mistaken. And then here you have the Zeitplan. Oh my goodness, am I gonna be able to say that? Okay. Spaß hat keinen Zeitplan, something like that. And of course, Jan Varir. With a little chalk. Which is really just a... I believe it's a... post? I think it's a post, yeah. Then you have merci de patienter, so please be patient for... please wait to be seated, essentially. And speaking of which... There we go. And I love being behind the wheel of those little cars. Bye-bye. And I love those little relaxing car rides. They feel so nostalgic to me. I remember going on those at Wallaby with my dad. Here you have the little not transfer track. I suppose it kind of is transfer track. Then you have the green tunnel. And what I love with the green tunnel is the view that it gives you as you go out of the tunnel. And then you're greeted by the mini golf here, which is a really nice interaction. You go by the station here, by the little stream, and here you can see one of the triggers, because there's me on the toilet. Which is a reference to the man on the toilet at the end of the main street of Tripsdrill, which is great. And you can see as well that those are custom cars, because obviously they don't have the roof originally. So I've made the roof custom. I've made the little Volkswagen logo as well, which is faded because it's no longer sponsored by this brand. And then every single car has a license plate, so it's BLLFLR, and then the number of the car, obviously. One more ride, please? Okay. Let's go on this ride again, if I can. Oh no, I've broken it! There we go. My bad. There we go. Yeah, I love this. I know I've done a good job when I want to spend more time in my parks. Even though they're my own parks, you know. It's not just because, oh yeah, I love what I've done. I do. It's not the point, but you know, there's this really relaxing aspect of touring the park and just losing yourself in the park for a few hours. I feel like it's really, really nice. Especially these days, as I'm not able to go to parks as often as I used to. Yeah, it's really, really nice to... I always forget that this is happening. And by the way, yeah, I can't really go there. But this is a body that's been done by Paul Lemieux. So if you want to get that body, it's basically made from the Western animatronics, and then everything is made with basic shape. So you can just make it so you customize everything. But yeah, this is both this and the pretzel are the only workshop items I've used in this park, just because when I saw them I was like, okay, there's no way I can make these any better than how they already look. So yeah, this is kind of it, guys, for what's currently available on Belleflore, in Belleflore, sorry. And yeah, man, what a park. Like, this park, I will definitely say that it's my favorite park I've ever done. It's probably gonna stay like that for a little while, because, yeah, it's really special, and it hits so close to home. Like, both in the sense that it's set in northern France, in Nord-Pas-De-Calais, as I said earlier, but also in the sense that it's kind of my ideal nostalgia park, which is so cool. Like, this is literally what I would have wanted to see as a kid, or what I would want my kid to see from a park. You know, this is somewhere I would love to grow up in. I'm also just updating this is why I'm not moving, the description to add the share code because I realized that a lot of people in the chat didn't know that the park was on the workshop. So now you can download it. You can just refresh the page or quit the video and bring it back on. And yeah, that is right, Hendrik. Like I I really put a lot of passion in this project, and I'm really glad that it comes through because this is like by far the I used to say with Partiel Bleu, thank you for visiting this piece of my heart or something like that. And it's especially true with Belleflore. It's really a piece of my heart in the sense that I literally have featured family members with my grandparents here and also Richard on one of the. Well, obviously, Hélène and Richard are on some of the bobsleds. I think this one is Hélène. Let's pause this. Yeah, this one is Hélène here. And let's find Richard. So Franz is here, so Richard should be here. Yep, there it is. So yeah, I've always wanted to make it the best as I could. Unfortunately, as always on console, you always have to make sacrifices, and that's also why I know that waiting for a PC is definitely going to be worth it. Just because this park really deserves the wait, the time I put into it, the passion as well, and I feel like, yeah, it's definitely the best thing. I mean, come on, look at this centerpiece. Like, can you imagine being, for example, in the Mexican area here, and looking at that? Like, this is crazy. And this will be a massive park. This will not be my biggest park in the end, but this already, when you compare it to Belleflore, is massive. Absolutely massive. So yeah, it's a huge project. We're definitely not done with Belleflore. We still have tons to do, like so many things to do. And and yeah, I've been loving it, man. I've been absolutely loving it, and I'm uh not going to stop there for sure. Like as soon as I get the PC, I'm jumping back on Belleflore for sure. Yeah, yeah, darn the console limit for sure. But thank you, Marilyn, for the compliments. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen, because I've realized that the latest episode of Belleflore has kind of underperformed. This is basically my videos on the plans of the park, future plans of the park at least. So here is going to be the American town. So the American town is going to have two coasters. One is going to be a GCI, which is going to be all the way here next to the manor grounds. We're also going to have a Vekoma LIM family coaster, which is going to run over River Rapids, which is going to be our legacy ride of this area. And this area will be really interesting in the sense that the area in the story of the park was originally full Wild West, and that's why the rapids was is set in, well, will be technically. It's a weird timeline thing, but yeah, it will be set in a Bryce Canyon looking structure. It's definitely possible in the game because I've seen Miss Barbare do that in the past with Imagination Queendom, by the way. I really recommend this series, and I really recommend you guys check out her work because she does like amazing work. And so yeah, a little shout out to my mod here. And yeah, on top of being a Wild West area before being the American, well, I suppose if it's a Wild West area, it was already an American town, but like it's more of a jukebox era, 60s, 70s kind of town when we'll see it in the actual park series. And the Vekoma LIM coaster is going to take the place in the story of the park, not in actual gameplay terms. It's going to take the place of a Vekoma mine train, so it's really going to be interesting to figure all of those legacy things out. Maybe, for example, at the top of the river rapids, you'll see the remnants of, I don't know, the lift hill structure for the mine train, for example. You can imagine things like that and play around with the legacy of those areas. Then after that, right here, there is going to be the Mexican area. This is probably the one that's gonna be cut if I need more space for the other areas. So technically, I suppose this will be the last area to be built in in the park. But regardless, I want 2 rides here. It's going to be a small area. There's going to be an invert. I don't know if it's going to be a B&M or if by the time we get to that, we're going to get a Vekoma STC. But I would love to have a Vekoma STC. If not, I'll definitely set up. Settle, sorry, not set up. Settle for a B&M invert. Either way, it's going to be a terrain invert, and it's going to drop from a Mayan temple. And the other ride is going to be a dark ride called Bailando. It's going to be a dance school, essentially. And this area, I forgot to tell you guys, it's going to be called La Serpiente. And this one is going to be called Wild Water, as you can see in the park already. Then here you're going to have Avalonia, really inspired by the Arthurian mythos of England. So think medieval England and fairy tales and fantasy. It's going to have 2 parts, this area. It's going to have a keep with a castle and a moat. You can imagine it here in the middle. And then further inland, there's going to be the dark forest of Avalonia, where you're going to be able to find the Black Knight. If you guys don't know, by the way, so the Black Knight obviously is a big figure in the Arthurian mythos, but it was also my original gamer tag back years ago, 5 years ago. I think I changed my name to YanBK1608, and BK1608. So the BK in YanBK means Black Knight. That was my old gamer tag, essentially, and so that's why I wanted to have the Black Knight, which is going to be an RMC terrain coaster, which is going to be interesting. And in the keep mini area of the area, there's going to be a Merlin themed launched Mac spinning coaster. Yeah. And then here you have Fiskeschusten, which is probably going to be the first area that I build. When I'm back on PC. When I'm back on PC. When I'm back on Belleflore on PC. I need to rearrange the words here. So this one is going to be a Norwegian fishing village. So you can imagine a coastal thing with a lighthouse and probably going to be a helter-skelter, those little slide flat rides as the lighthouse. And then there's going to be a Mac Mega Coaster that's going to run around here, I want to say. And the mega coaster is going to be called Borealis. It's going to be themed to Northern Lights, with, Aurora Borealis, essentially. And there's going to be a water coaster as well called Fisker's Song, which is basically going to be half dark ride, talking about the story of a fisherman, essentially. So yeah, those are the plans. Big plans, massive plans. Really excited to get there. And of course, there's also the possibility of doing a water park, probably over there, and or in a spin-off series. We'll see. I really like the idea of doing a water park, mostly because I'm really interested in doing the a little camp resort thing, like a Belleflore camp, or I suppose in French that would be Camp Belleflore. So yeah, that would be a really interesting thing. And of course, on top of having the new areas, we're gonna have the backstages to go with that. So imagine staff parking lots. Imagine I don't know, offices, greenhouses as well, because that's a big part of Belleflore. I can imagine greenhouses per area, so that every area has their own different vegetations, flora, actually, keeping with the theme of Belleflore, and yeah, like many things like that to make the park even more realistic than it already is. So yeah, guys, these are the plans for what when we'll see Belleflore next. For now, this is high time, in fact, because I've really been milking the cow dry. But yeah, this is time to finally say goodbye to Belleflore Season 1. It's been a trip, a 4-5 months trip, I think, something like that. A little bit more because I've technically started the park in February, but I've picked it back up. I believe it was in early June, and I started the series definitely at the end of June. So yeah, something like 4 months. 4 months is honestly pretty decent time when you consider everything that we've done with this park. Like, this is a massive, massive park already. And I'm pretty sure that in fact, you know what? Let's check it out. Where is it? Oh, actually, not that big, because this is, so technically, oh yeah, actually, no, it kind of is big. So this is the Bodies Bay area of Comtasso Park, right? And this area is definitely as wide as the whole park is. So yeah, I suppose it's not that big, Comtasso Park, when you compare it to Belleflore. But yeah, it's kind of crazy to imagine that everything that's already in Belleflore kind of is the not the shape, the size of that Polynesian area, which is kind of a crazy thing, honestly. But yeah, it's a crazy fact. It's definitely gonna be way bigger than Comtasso Park, this park. But yeah, guys, I've been. I went to work and you're still live. Yeah, I'm about to finish this stream though, Blue Jay. But it's very nice that you're here in the final moments of the season 1 of Belleflore. Thank you guys so much for watching this stream. Thank you to everyone who's been generous enough to donate or gift memberships tonight. It's always very appreciated. It helps me like tons, honestly. Like every bit of money that you guys can donate, or when you become channel supporters or VIP supporters now, it's always like so appreciated, because it really goes a long way to help the channel grow into a sustainable business, and to also help me fund the PC project, which is a massive, massive project. So yeah, again, thank you all so much for watching. This has been Yan, your favorite friendly Frenchman, and obviously, you've been awesome. And I'll see you. I flipped it up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye 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 bye.